Master Helcular was almost complete with his transformation into a lich when a human lynch mob discovered his ritual lair in the hills and brutally killed him. To make matters worse, they buried his corpse in the South Shore Cemetery. Such disregard for the great wizard is unacceptable. As his apprentice, I shall see to it that the rains of vengeance fall upon the town of South Shore. We will need Helcular's rod first. The yeti overtook his ritual lair. Undoubtedly, one of the beasts has it. So that's why I'm assuming it's a drop. It says one of the beasts has it. I haven't seen it laying around to be picked up anywhere, so we're assuming one of the yeti has it on their person. And at least they're skinnable, so we can get resources while we're in here.
I need to get closer.
He broke out of that really fast.
My mana is low.
You can tell it's been a minute since I've been on this character as I fumble with some of my keybinds. Bear with me. I hear the sounds of somebody else fighting these guys. That guy respawned behind us already, so we need to be careful about that. Yeah, here he comes. Can we skin this before we aggro? Barely. Human paladin down there, so not of the faction that can help us. I guess we pulled old buddy here? That sucks.
I need more mana.
Yeah, you do. I need to target the other one. The one that has full health, so we can do this. And now I don't really know what else we do because it seems as if we are kind of in quite a bind here. I could try to take this guy down before he does any damage to us. That's going to be iffy with the amount of mana that we currently have. And the fact that, oh good, he did respond to the freeze. That was incredibly close. One more hit and we would have been done for. While he was hitting for 40, about 40, we had about 52 health left. We might have taken one more hit, but it was a little too close. Well, water alone is not going to help us right now. Oh, look at this. It's a skinning holiday. We will take all of your leftover heavy and medium leather. Thank you so much, random paladin. Unfortunately, it doesn't leave us a lot to defeat and loot, which is going to decrease the chance of us actually getting this rod. I wonder how people feel when you come behind them and skin their mobs. I wonder if people even notice. These guys are not that powerful unless they manage to team up on us.
I need to target something first.
So I don't know if any of you guys have heard or particularly care, but basically the Shadowlands release date has been confirmed for sometime in November. So that gives you some time if you were interested in getting back into the game. You have about 4 months probably till the 9.0 pre-patch to level any class you'd like. And looking at how the classes are shaping out, for Shadowlands, they all look pretty good. I guess overall there's not... most classes don't have an incredible amount of changes from how they function in BFA. One of the exceptions being that, well, Paladins are getting holy power back for protection and for healing. There's a couple other significant changes in one or two classes, but mainly, without having the borrowed power systems yet that we're going to see in Shadowlands, the classes haven't changed that much. They've tweaked a lot of things, they've unpruned, so they've given a lot of classes' abilities back that used to be locked out by spec. Things like Riptide Totem or Healing Stream Totem for Shaman. Things that you stopped getting once you didn't pick a healing spec, things like that you're now getting back as part of the base class. Same thing for tanking abilities. Those are just kind of being worked back into the base class's abilities.
Not enough mana.
We don't have enough mana. But the point is, all the classes are seeming like they're going to be pretty decent, so I don't see that you could go too far wrong with... if there's anything that looked interesting that you wanted to play, or if you wanted to try something new, I think that Shadowlands is going to be a good time to do either of those things. I keep hoping that we'll just see this thing on the ground in here somewhere, even though I know that that's not going to happen. Let's go back this way. I remember from vanilla that this was an intentionally and incredibly low drop rate. I don't even remember if I ever got the item or completed the quest. But I do remember the friend that I played with at the time who got me into the game explaining that this quest was going to take forever, basically, to someone who didn't really understand drop rates or why that would be the case. This guy's going to come right at us long before we have mana. Okay, well, we'll just drink over here then. He's going to keep coming right at us. Yes. Yes, we see that you want to walk right towards us. Whoops. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to do, but I'll take it.
It's too far away.
It would be nice if polymorphing a target, if it was your only target, if it dropped you out of combat.
It's still recharging.
Yeah, like there's a couple of these braziers, or braziers, whatever these things are that hold fire. Another word that I've only ever read and never heard spoken, so no doubt I'm saying it wrong. But I don't see a sword sticking out of the ground or anything like that, so it has to be just a drop off these guys, and it's incredibly rare. Let me clear this whole place here and see if we can't get it to drop. I can't remember how many of these I've killed. I'm not keeping count, but I have farmed here several times in the past. Not on recording, of course, because who would want to watch that? Even though it's very similar to exactly what we're doing right now. Right now, we're just trying to clear out the entire cave. That's the goal. And if we clear out the entire cave and the item still doesn't drop, then we'll have to reevaluate at that point. Yep, it was fine the screenshot time. Where is the thumbnail in today's episode? Can you find it? I've been playing a lot of the warlock recently, which I'm sure some of you guys have noticed. Some of you might appreciate or dislike. But yeah, the big difference between the two of them, there is a big difference between the mage and the warlock. Even though they're both casters, you can really feel that the mage has so much more direct power. Whereas with the warlock, I really enjoy just kind of dotting up the enemies and letting them bleed out over time, and knowing that I can kind of kite them around a little bit as they do so. And we have, of course, our Voidwalker pet to help us out with that. Once the mage runs out of mana, like, you're pretty well screwed. On the warlock, you have a lot of utilities to make sure that you don't run out of mana. You can convert your health into mana. You can then drain life from an enemy to restore your health. So you have a lot of things to do just to make sure you can get that little bit of mana you need to safely finish an encounter. On the mage, if you let yourself run out, it's an entirely different situation, right? Unless you have Evocate up. If you have Evocate up, then you're good. Usually you're good. If you can get a mana shield up, you're good. Alright, I think we basically have cleared out this entire place. Now granted, that paladin did a lot of the wet work for us. Let's walk back out here and clear as many as we can and just hope that this thing drops. We'll get our mana back. I'd say I still enjoy the Mage and I enjoy the Warlock as well for different reasons. The Warlock to me is a little bit more fun though, just because you seem to have a lot more mobility, and I really like that you can keep your mana going, you can keep pulling. You do have to be careful about a couple of different things, but it's really easy to do once you get a good flow going. You can keep your mana going for quite a few pulls before you feel like you need to stop to get health and mana back. There are parts in leveling on the Mage where we've had to stop after every pull basically just to drink. Which is great that we have free food and water that we can make, but it's still not really the pace that you might want. We're doing okay at where we're at. Going back to Frost has helped us, focusing on Frostbolt has helped. So we're not doing terrible. And then we get a big resist. And then he resists our actual freeze. This is the kind of encounter where we'll just burn a lot of mana, because we're going to have to do mana shield here, since we've already blinked. And just like that, 2 pulls later, we have no mana again. And then of course, since we are a mage, which with our immense mana pool, it just takes forever to get our mana back. Hey, level 33. It feels like a long time since we've leveled this character. This guy got pissed. He heard the level ding and he was like, not on my fucking watch. What a jerkbag. Totally interrupting our glory moment so that we can't even look at our talent tree. That's just plain rude. It would have been nice if he'd have at least had the courtesy of dropping the sword for us. But he didn't. Okay, a couple things we were working on. We were working on our improved Cone of Cold as well as Permafrost, which is going to add another second to the duration of our chill effects and more percentage slowed. So they'll be even slower than before. Or we keep pumping damage in the Cone of Cold. I think let's circle back. Let's finish off Permafrost. That gives us much more than we need in this row. Eventually we'll be able to get into Winter's Chill. But we need Ice Block if we ever want Ice Barrier. Instantly shield you, absorbing damage, lasts 1 minute. How is this much different than Mana Shield? Costs a shit ton more. That's a really strange end talent. It's very defensive. Oh, I mean, it's obviously completely defensive. Oh, hi. You know, let's not have time to think about our talents here. It's probably not a good place to be talent perusing anyway. I mean, what else are we gonna get? Reduces target's resistance to all your spells by 5. Reduces threat caused by arcane. There's nothing really useful for us in the top tiers of the other trees. It's just like all or nothing one tree. Otherwise you're just kind of wasting points. We could grab elemental precision. I just don't know about some of these later talents. Ice barrier seems fine, but I already have a tool that does that. Do I really want to be in a position to need more defense? Or do I want to make sure I'm killing shit before it's hitting me? Because I'd rather be doing the later than having to rely on ice barrier. As cool as it is, it seems like it would be really cool in PvP. Maybe that's part of it. Because I'm sure it's more powerful than our basic mana shield. Maybe it even replaces mana shield, I don't know. But I'm sure it would be really useful in PvP, it's just that I don't think I want to need it in PvE. Obviously at endgame I doubt we'd be a frost mage, right? Let's say we got to 60 and we wanted to do some raiding, we'd probably have to go fire, I'm assuming. I'm assuming we would not be an ice mage if we wanted to PvE at endgame. I remember in Wrath you could play the Frost Firebolt spec, that was a lot of fun. And that was kind of the first time at endgame I think that you could utilize ice spells as a mage. And then it continued to have some viability in every expansion after Lich King. But in vanilla, pretty sure ice was just for leveling and maybe it looks like PvP. As you guys can see, as fun as it has been to explore in here, these guys have not been willing to drop Helcular's Rod. And like I said, this is me having come in here a lot. I've come here a lot. Lots of stacks of leather have been scraped from the muscles of these yeti, and yet no rods have been found. It's really useful just to run away. He's pretty slowed. We got the whole cast off just by running away.
I need more mana. I need to get closer.
Let's actually go ahead and get more mana, like she suggests that we do. Probably be a good idea to listen to the character error speech at some point.
I can't cast that yet.
Resist. No resist. We're gonna take a hit. We were so close to conserving mana and not taking a hit there. Should I take out these last couple guys? I mean, there's gonna be yeti outside. I was kind of hoping that there'd be luck in recording it and maybe I'd get it on recording since I've tried so many times without recording to get this thing. This was like a last-ditch effort to like try to complete this quest without spending many more hours in here. Sometimes I feel like Blink is just a waste of mana.
Not enough mana.
And there's cave yeti and ferocious yeti. I don't know that there's any difference in the likelihood that they'll drop the rod, but if you guys know any tricks or tips to get this thing to drop, I would love to know. Because killing them by the droves hasn't worked for me so far, and that's really the only trick I have in WoW. If I look at like fire, they get combustion. When activated, this spell causes each of your fire damage spell hits to increase your critical strike chance with fire by 10%. Like, that's a damage dealing talent. I'm assuming this guy was a respawn. I don't think he was a patrol, but he could have been a patrol.
That smell isn't right.
Okay, we have to get to this guy in the corner. If I don't take out this guy in the corner, it'll mess with my OCD. Ooh, look at that. That is going to go ahead and be an upgrade for us. Thank you very much. Probably could have sold that for quite a bit. Conjurer's Cloak of the Eagle. Sometimes it's really hard to find drops that have just intellect and stamina on it. You'll get like intellect and agility, spirit and agility, spirit and stamina. But of the Eagle, man. Of the Eagle is good stuff for a caster. Especially if what you're focusing on is damage. And obviously that's what we're focusing on. Now if you were a priest, then maybe you'd want some of that spirit for some regen. I forget when it was it the Burning Crusade that they combined healing power and spell power into just spell power? Or did that happen in vanilla? Or am I totally making that up? I remember there being plus healing and plus spell power. And they were different. And so plus the spell power would do nothing for a healer's heals. So one of you guys let me know if that was something that hung around until BC, or if I'm just totally making it up. Alright, let's finish these last couple outside. And see, this is kind of where we're at here in Hillsbrad. We have a couple of things to do. But like this quest, they are actually quite annoying. We were questing in Desolus for a bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel the same way about the zone now that I actually felt about it 13 years ago when I played there originally. And I think it's boring, incredibly far spread out, and would only be really bearable if we had a mount. If I had a mount, I wouldn't mind trying to figure out what's going on in Desolus. Without a mount, I have tried to do some things there and see if we could eke some content and some levels out of it, and it just hasn't happened, so. Looking at other places we could go, I mean, we never got to do Shadowfang Keep on this character. That was really unfortunate. We don't have a lot of quests to go anywhere else. I need to get these two turned in. And then I'm not sure where it's off to from here. I'll have to look at what we've already completed, see if there's anything else we could do in Arathi.
It's too far away.
The last place I'm excited to go is Stranglethorn. I'm not at all excited for that. Stranglethorn might be something that I power level through on my own when I get there again, and that I don't record anything from it. Because the warrior, we kind of got stuck in Stranglethorn and never got out, and that was probably mainly because I was trying to record through all of it, and a lot of other problems. But if I have to do Stranglethorn again, I'm probably just gonna take a day or two and just push myself through the whole thing as quickly as I possibly can. You're probably thinking a day or two, Robert, it takes days. I feel like it could take days and days of dedicated playing to get all the way through Stranglethorn, and you can't skip it. It's so much content and so many levels that you can't skip Stranglethorn. It's 100% required. For better or worse, it's a beautiful zone, but same thing with Desolus is I feel like you really need a mount while you're there, but it's not at the level for you to have a mount. But maybe that's just reaching that point in the game where where you've been running on your own 2 feet for so long that you're really starting to feel it. And so it's probably intentional that they make the zones get bigger and bigger so that you get more and more tired of running. So that by the time you're level 40, you're willing to grind that 100 or so gold for a mount. Because guys, I am ready for a mount. Alright, once again, these guys have not dropped anything for us. We could go try to free the last prisoner. However, I think there's a couple of guys up there, and they're like level 36, protecting the last Forsaken that we need to get the Bloodstone Oval from. Haven't been able to take them out yet. I've tried twice off of recording. Braces of Binding. This we might be able to do. This is just 4 Bracers of Earth Binding. The Magus will be busy studying those stone tokens you gathered, but I know he'll eventually want examples of their counterpart, Bracers of Binding. These are set around the wrist of actual elementals and bind them into the mage's service. Hunt elementals in the ruins of Dalaran and gather their Bracers of Earth Binding. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Let's get our blink on. Get our buffs back up. And we'll at least run up here and see if we can find these earth elementals and check out what level they are. Now the quest is a yellow quest, and that tells me that we should be able to do it just fine. But that hasn't always been the case now, has it? Guess we should aim more directly for Dalaran itself. So far we've only been in the internment camp. Now this is where that last Bloodstone Oval is. It's a pain in the ass to work back to the building where she's in. And then once you get there, there's multiple enemies inside the building, and then upstairs you have to combat at least 2 higher level enemies. So even though the quest is yellow, prison break-in, it's still quite hard to do, and I haven't been able to succeed at it yet, even though I've tried a couple of times. What's worrisome here is that, okay, we have a Kirin Tor Archmage. Oh, this is a named guy. Archmage Ansarim Runeweaver. He's level 40. We are not going to mess with him. We're going to check out these elementals, which are only level 33. The other mages are also only level 33. Okay, so these aren't anybody's pet. That's good. I wonder if they are at all like extra resistant though to elemental spells. Just because they're an elemental at all. That I'm not sure. And Bracer of Earthbinding. Okay, so the drop right here might not totally suck. The mob density is a little weird. I don't want to move around a lot here because I don't want to pull anything on accident, so we are just kind of try to play it cool here.
Still recharging.
And we're going to blow all of our mana to play it cool. But it avoids us accidentally pulling these 2 chaps over here, who would probably rip us apart with magic pretty efficiently. Can we get into the dome, or does it just stop us? Or does something awful happen if I try? I mean, how can I not try? I don't remember. I don't remember doing much up here at all in vanilla, to be honest, except coming to look at it one time. Yeah, we can't get in, obviously.
It's too far away.
Oh, ooh, we gotta get this guy. No, 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 no. Oh, shit, come on. Ah, damn it.
I'm out of
This
range.
guy, what a fucking patrol. And now we're gonna pull this asshole. Ah, this is exactly what I did not want.
I need to get closer.
I don't want to fight any of these guys. Oh good, that's gonna help us. Not at all. He summoned another guy in.
It's not ready yet.
He summoned another guy in because he's a complete prick. And he summoned a complete other guy in to help him. What in the actual... I don't like this area. Not at all. We're gonna reevaluate and find a better way to pull these elementals. I'm still in combat with somebody. Like, really? Like, dude, if you come up here, you are lucky, because I would gladly have finished you off without your little buddy. Like, this guy, love to get him right now. I'm not gonna be able to do that.
I need to get closer.
Yep, we can't do that. Alright, let's take a break here. When we come back to the mage, we will find a way to carefully hunt out and take care of these elementals for the bracers of binding. And we'll make a little stop over here and I'll show you guys the difficulties that I'm having up on the second floor. So look forward to that. Beyond that, I just wanted to say thank you guys for showing up, for being here, and for supporting me. I don't say enough how much it means to me. And I hope that you take care of yourselves out there in the world, and that we see you again really soon. Bye now.